Suppressor technology really hadn't changed for a number of years until OSS, now known as Huxwrx, came into the market. Huxwrx started thinking about suppressors in a very different way. Traditional suppressors worked great at flash mitigation and sound suppression, but they came with their own set of flaws. They tend to overgas the weapon, which would increase felt recoil as well as wear and tear on the internals of the firearm. They would also increase blowback, that is carbon fouling back to the face, and lead to a very dirty weapon which could cause reliability issues. If your rifle has an adjustable gas block, you can set it either to a suppressed setting or turn down the gas and fine tune it to find where it is happy with your particular suppressor. But you can only reduce, you can't really eliminate all of these issues with a traditional suppressor. Some rifles like this MR556A1 don't have an adjustable gas block, so the Flow 556K becomes a great option without having to modify or change anything on the weapon. This suppressor comes in at 12 ounces. They may vary a little bit because they are 3D printed. They are stainless steel, which does unfortunately have a little bit of a ping when you're shooting, and the muzzle device is reverse threaded, so as you shoot it, you're going to tighten, if anything, and not loosen the suppressor. And when you go take it off, you're not going to accidentally take the muzzle device off with the suppressor. So that is very nice. I really like the reverse thread design. For all these reasons, this suppressor is a great option for a rifle like this. I don't have to make any modifications to the weapon. There is very minimal, if any, point of impact shift. And also being a piston-driven gun, it runs extremely clean. I haven't had to do any extra cleanings or anything like that. So unfortunately, there is no free lunch. Even flow-through suppressors have their own disadvantages. One of them being the actual flash and sound suppression performance. When I first got this suppressor, I took it out on a 13.7 and it was incredibly loud. With ears, I really couldn't tell a big difference in tone or in the sound level. I could pop an ear off the headphone and shoot a few rounds through it before feeling any amount of discomfort. I could probably get through a full magazine, but my ears would probably be ringing pretty bad at that point. Now recently, my local police department picked up these suppressors for their rifles, and for them, it makes a lot of sense. They are not having to make any modifications to their rifles. They don't have to increase their cleaning schedule or do any more parts maintenance. And the amount in which they're going to actually have to shoot their rifles without any hearing protection outside of training is going to be pretty limited. So obviously today I'm shooting it on a 16.5-inch barrel, and it makes a huge difference compared to the 13.7. I'm shooting this out in a big open field, and you can tell a significant difference in the actual tone. You have a little bit of a high-pitched ping from the stainless steel, and you still have that supersonic crack because it is 5.56 and you have a ton of velocity. One thing that I hope the camera picks up, and it's very difficult to tell the difference in sound loudness level on camera, but the tone of the weapon does change quite significantly with the suppressor. It's less noticeable on a shorter barrel, but with the 16.5-inch, it does change the tone quite a bit. It's almost hearing safe for limited usage, but I'll let you guys hear that again. So if you pay attention to the ejection pattern, this gun does come a little overgassed from factory, but they're angling out a little bit at the 2 o'clock position. But the reliability is there. There's really no blowback to the face. When I was testing my rugged Obsidian 45, my face turned pretty much black by the end of shooting that. And with the Flow 556K, you don't get any blowback to the face, which is really nice. On the downside, this gets insanely hot to where you really can't take it off at this point. And if you do and you throw it in your range bag, you're going to burn a hole through it. Ask me how I know that. I can shoot this configuration without ears, and it's not terribly loud, although I wouldn't recommend doing it for an extended period of time. So should you buy a Flow 556K? Well, that really depends on the rifle that you're going to use it on. If you have a rifle like this and you don't want to worry about changing anything, you don't want to deal with having a rifle that gets very dirty, that requires a lot more cleaning, this becomes a great option. If you're looking for maximum sound suppression though, and you want to be able to just take your ears off and shoot comfortably, this is really not going to do it, and you're going to pay a lot more because of the technology. In a perfect world, I would love something like the Otter Creek Labs Polonium K model. Its size and weight would really be perfect for what I want this rifle to do, but unfortunately, I know those suppressors have a lot of blowback, especially the full-size model. I'm not sure if it would run reliably and if it would be too gassy or not. I would love to try one of the cat suppressors like the Alley Cat or the WB. They also have a KK coming out later this year, and that's going to be even shorter than the WB. I feel like that brand does a really good job at balancing what we expect from a traditional suppressor, as well as giving you all those benefits from flow-through technology. Some people are still going to say that Huxwrx is still the king when it comes to flow-through technology, and I haven't shot a whole lot of other suppressors, so I really can't say how it compares. But from the suppressors that I have shot, I will say that this is quite a bit louder than I expected it to be, and I was pretty disappointed in that aspect of the performance, although it runs very well on this rifle, and I've had no issues with reliability. At the end of the day, it really just comes down to what you want your rifle to do and how important those flow-through benefits are to you. If anyone has experience shooting a Huxwrx, a Cat, or similar suppressor, please leave a comment below and let me know what rifle you shot on and what your experience has been. I do plan on picking up a Cat, maybe an Alley Cat or a WB later this year, so I'll try and do a little bit of a comparison or just tell you what my thoughts are on those two when that does happen.